Greetings, friends. My name is Mykola Volohov, callsign Abdullah. I'm the commander of the Terra unit, as well as the chief sergeant of the Unmanned Systems Battalion in the 3rd Separate Assault Brigade. Now we'll watch together how we annihilate the occupiers' infantry and destroy the artillery that covers them during their attempts to conduct assault operations. Thank you to everyone who supports us. Special thanks to our patrons on Patreon and sponsors on YouTube. Friends, become our patrons, become our sponsors. This support is very important for us. And for those who want to join, we have an active fundraiser. We collect for drone guidance modification systems so that each drone flies exactly into the target. The link to the fundraiser is fixed in the description of the video. Also there you can become our patron or sponsor or by using this QR code. Scan it with your phone and support the armed forces of Ukraine. In this video, friends, there will be a lot of things that we are forced to blur on YouTube. Those who want to watch the full version without censorship, go to our Telegram channel at TerraOps. So friends, let's go. The occupiers are trying to carry out assault operations. They storm in small groups, trying to deplete our defenses. Here you see 3 instances of uninvited guests. And you can now observe various tactics with which the occupiers are trying to escape. One shoots, the other just runs, and the third tries to get away with a roll. But it doesn't work well. A direct hit with high explosive fragmentation ammunition directly under the feet with the corresponding consequences. And this is the second drone of the crew. Project Spike is looking for survivors after the first approach. Barrages over the battlefield looking where they could hide. Now, by the way, you see another great example of tactics on how you can escape, quote unquote. I'll reveal the secret, I'll run a little ahead, no one will be spared. The crew finds the target, he's lying right against the shell crater. You see it masks him a little and you can't see him right away. He pretends to be Fallen Warrior and now he is becoming one in reality. The third approach, Project Spike is looking for another occupier who may have hidden somewhere. We have the following information from the Mavic 3 reconnaissance drone. Here you can see how Mavic 3 sees the target. You can see how the drone enters the position and this one is trying to avoid his fate with the tactical technique Donut. He curls up and thinks that we will not understand who it is and what it is. There will be a very good hit now. Unfortunately, it is blurred here. Follow the link in the video description. There in the Telegram channel it will be uncensored. A direct hit and let's say he was unboxed. The second pair of occupiers want to reach the accumulation zone to conduct assault operations on our positions later. We continue to observe attempts to avoid a terrible fate. This one shoots and at the same time makes an evasive maneuver. But look how Spike Pilot makes his maneuver. He waited a little for the occupier to fall and then directed the drone to the left, accurately hitting the silhouette lying on the ground. Again, the reconnaissance drone confirms a direct hit as well as the detonation of high explosive fragmentation ammunition. The occupier goes to Kobzon concert. And this is another crew overhead, which works in tandem with the Project Spike crew. Finalizing those occupiers who still remained on the battlefield. This one, for example, first hit and then decided to lie down. Let's see if it will save him. Look, there were actually 2 of them. And now we see the explosion of fragmentation ammunition. Not a very big explosion, but the main element is shrapnel that inside the ammunition. And it hit the target. As we can see, there is no more activity. There is only one reason. Both uninvited guests went to the concert to Kobzon. Meanwhile, the enemy is actively supporting assault operations with artillery systems. If we want to stop their efforts and disrupt the plan, we must destroy not only the advancing infantry, but also the artillery systems that cover it. In this case, it was the 120 cal enemy mortars. Now you will see what happened to them. And now the main character is the Revenge crew. By the way, these guys have learned to work well on enemy artillery, namely at enemy mortars. Almost always mortar positions are nicely dug in. The mortar does not stand out on the ground, due to the fact that the trajectory of the shot follows a wide arc. Here is this dugout and there is a mortar in it. Now neatly the crew flies into there. Please note that at the last moment the feet dropped at the pilot blindly by memory completed his maneuver. directly hits the mortar, which is in the dugout. The explosion, white smoke pours out, and the mortar is no longer in the same place. As you can see, he is lying in the bushes. Most likely he was crumpled by the high explosive effect. Perhaps some of the shrapnel pierced it. But we cannot be sure that it's destroyed, therefore a control hit is always delivered. A control hit to the head of the mortar. All the same, feed is lost, there it is, a drone is visible, direct hit, a good explosion with fire. Now we believe that the mortar is disabled or completely destroyed. By the way, have you noticed how the second time the Revenge crew hit directly into the mortar body? And this mortar is dug in neat near the parapet. By the way, one drone has already made a hit there and you see one of the logs lying on the ground. It is very difficult to fly into such a small gap. You can also see the obstacles created by the enemy means of electronic warfare. There it is. You can see its barrel and now the Revenge will fly right into it. Here, friends, you can clearly see that the mortar, or to be more precise, its barrel is a little crumpled on the side. Something sticks out of it. This is the result of being hit by the first drone, but we always finish off targets, especially such as mortars. There's one reason: they can fire at our infantry. They cover the occupier's infantry, which is advancing. Therefore, enemy artillery is always a priority target for us. Here you see how a reconnaissance drone is watching. FPVs fly exactly into the target, explosion, mortar is destroyed. Thick black and white smoke pours out. For some time, the reconnaissance drone has been observing such a wonderful picture. And an example of great work of the Revenge crew. Friends, look how the FPV pilot sees the battlefield. Nothing is clear. Where this mortar is hidden is fundamentally unclear, but with preliminary intelligence data from the reconnaissance drone, we know that it is there. It was not very clear in this video, but in this first hit, the goal was to remove the protective net that covered the mortar. This is the same mortar. The protective net has been removed. It is already visible. There it is. The last frame you could see it. There is a direct hit. Look, pieces of camouflage and cover are flying in different directions. The mortar was hit. The reconnaissance drone continued to watch, waiting for the detonation of the ammunition. Events continued to unfold and we destroyed the infantry that stormed. We destroyed 120 mortars that were covering it. And now we finalize those who tried to escape. Look how he hides behind a tree. Thinks that nothing will happen, but there will also be a direct hit in his behind. The reconnaissance drone confirms the detonation. We know for sure that this occupier was neutralized. And here, friends, I want to show you what the real picture of the battlefield looks like. Chopped trees, trenches and dugouts were also all destroyed by our FPV kamikaze drones. We are looking for occupiers who could have survived, who could pretend being not alive. We have to do this because we have to be 100% sure that they are unalived. No occupiers will cause pressure on the positions of our infantry. Just now you could observe how many drones are circling over the zone, the D zone, the destruction zone. Here you can see enemy trenches, enemy dugouts, how many trees have fell. All that is blurred is what we can't show here. If it flies into the dugout and explodes, apparently having information that someone may be hiding there. Again, friends, if you want to watch Uncensored, follow the link in the description. Telegram channel Terra Ops. Or scan the QR code in the corner of your screen with your mobile phone and support us. If you like the way we work, then support our unit. The pilot of the FPV drone of the Project Spy crew continues to carefully fly over the battlefield, looking for those occupiers who may be hiding somewhere. See how many dugouts, how many holes, how well fortified are those positions that are used as support for the assault on our defense lines where our stormtroopers are. Our machine operators, they are actually the coolest guys holding the defense. And without finding any target other than this uninvited guest who may be pretending, they know how to do it. They know how to pretend nicely as if they are in the state in which others are lying there. And a direct hit is made. Direct hit into his behind. The reconnaissance drone is also looking for the occupiers and confirms the detonation of a drone with high explosive ammunition. And you see, like in the movie Joker, there was a pencil and now it's gone. Friends, thank you for your attention. This is what we do with those who come to this land to occupy. This is what we do with their artillery. this is what we do to their infantry. Thank you again to all those who support us. Who wants to join? Scan this QR code and support the armed forces of Ukraine. Friends, victory will definitely come. It will be our common glory.